Be show 80.
The following show is a sponsor of Joy 106.3. Joy 106.3, its parent company, Rima Broadcasting Inc., its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show hosts, callers, or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of this radio station.
You're now tuned in to Outside the Roundtable with your host, H.L. Siler, where we discuss issues that affect us all. Good afternoon, and welcome to Outside the Roundtable. I'm your host, H.L. Siler. How everybody doing today? You know, what a great day to be alive, isn't it? Isn't it great to be alive? I give all praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Really, I do. Now, before we start today, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me for my 80th show. And God is so good. And so, having said that, let's get right to the show. Everybody ready? I says, everybody ready? Let's get to it. First of all, before we start, I'd like to send a shout out to General Colin Powell. Rest in peace, my dear sir. You were truly appreciated, and you will truly be missed. That's General Colin Powell. He put his wings on yesterday and moved on. What a great American he was. And it'd be so great to have men like Colin Powell in Washington. It was so great to have men like Colin Powell in Washington. We need more Colin Powells. So rest in peace. What a great man. Now getting back to these Republicans. Let's get back to these Republicans. Let's get back to Steve Bannon not respecting a congressional subpoena. Huh? Got a phone call already. Maybe one of my little co-hosts is on. Who on the air this morning with H.L. Siler this afternoon? This afternoon, rather. Who the call on the air?
Hi, good morning. It's Nabil.
Oh, Nabil, the Black Trump supporter, y'all. You gonna sit in with us a little bit?
Yeah. Good morning. How you doing?
You came right in time, my dear sir. I want to talk about Steve Bannon not respecting the congressional subpoena. What you think about that, man? I think he need to go to jail. What you think about that, Nabil? Black Trump supporter?
I think he should just go, to be honest. I think if they have nothing to hide, they should just go. Him, Trump, and all of them, just go defend yourself if there's really nothing, Don't give people the opportunity to actually make something out of if there's anything or if there's nothing,
But don't you think that's why they ain't coming, because it's something?
I don't know. You never can tell. It's just like the Russia dossier, where till date we still don't have evidence that Trump actually connived with Russia.
However, are you kidding me? What news you been watching?
It's a fact.
I can tell you watch Fox News.
Hello? No, I'm just saying it's a fact that there isn't really a strong evidence linking Trump to Russia.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact. And there's not strong evidence not linking him. As a matter of fact, there's strong evidence linking him. Are you kidding me?
Oh, well, I don't know. If you have one, you can always share, but I don't think there is still date. And same thing with this, Steve Bannon and Trump and all of them. They don't have anything to.
Let me ask you a question, Black Trump supporter. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any president of these United States go to a world conference and say that he believed Putin over our national intelligence? his own national intelligence. He said in front of the whole world on a world platform that he believed Putin over our national intelligence. So I'm just answering the question. I'm just giving you one anecdote of what you just said.
This is where, so I'm going to put it this way. This is why we love Trump. I don't think he never said that. He never said he believed Putin over his national intelligence. You can go check.
I can check it on video. It's on video. Somebody call in and help me here. It's on video. What do you mean? Just like he said out his own mouth, he grabbed women by their private part. Just like he said out his own mouth, he need 11,000 votes. There ain't nobody lying on him. This is out his own mouth. So what you tell me? Y'all don't believe what he's saying?
There are things he
I don't understand. I don't get it.
There are things he says that we cannot defend him. However, there are things that are being made up that have been said. He said, and he never said it.
Okay, just for instance. This thing, see, we ain't gonna just let you just keep on going with the Republican talking points on this show. You gotta give us some evidence. Okay, when you say something, and that's what the media should be about. When these people come on spouting all this nonsense, people say, "What? Okay, example? Can I get an example?" That's all I'm asking. Give me an example. You're talking about. Give me an example where he was blamed for something that he wasn't responsible for, that he didn't do. Because I see a lot of people dying because we had a lack of leadership when the COVID hit. Because when Obama was in office, we had the H1 flu and all that, and not one person died. And that could have been just like this COVID. The only reason this COVID has gained the power that it has is because of non-leadership. Because if we'd addressed it head on like we were supposed to, we would have had all these people dying. We just had Colin Powell die, COVID-related deaths. I blame Trump, baby Trump. I blame baby Trump for all that.
That's the thing. Do you believe? I don't believe we have leadership today. In fact, it's even worse right now because we still have the issue of COVID. We have the issue of vaccine mandates. We have the issue of inflation. The economy is getting bad. I mean, you look at it from everywhere. This president has done terribly bad.
How can we he just got in office? Everything is a residual of Trump administration. We're dealing with all the residuals of the Trump administration. It's going to be inflation because people not working because we've been dying. Are you kidding me?
You cannot say.
The man has just got in office in January. This man, listen, baby Trump has left us so much collateral damage that it's going to take us at least 2 administrations to get through it if we can. So for the life of me, I can't understand why people would talk about he running again. He need to be ran to jail. That's what he need to be ran to. Why would you let somebody get back in? I know this country ain't that. See, that's why they're trying to steal the election. Because they know ain't nobody finna vote him back in. So what they doing, they putting all the mechanisms in place. So when the elections is over with, they would have sold out. And when the election is over with, they're saying he done lost by 10 million votes. He's saying it's some hanky panky or I'm not conceding, and let's take it to court. And then when you get to court, guess what you're gonna see? The same people that Hillary McConnell been putting in there for the last 5 years. So they're trying to rig the system so and sow doubt so they can get on with what they're trying to do, and that's be able to take it to court and win because the judges are they sycophants and they plants, and that's what's going on. Same thing with Joe Manchin and Christie Sinema. They're Republicans. They are Democrats in name only. How can a man like Joe Manchin from the state like West Virginia, one of the poorest states in the country, when people need all the help they can get, go and say it's too much? How you gonna tell your constituents it's too much when they coming from one of the poorest states in America? See, this is what you let you know. They're not doing the will of the people. They're doing the will of the lobbyists and corporations. You need to get that dog money out of Washington, or we're gonna have these problems forever. Because what they're trying to do, they're trying to position themselves to win every election, and if they lose one, they can go to court and contest it and still overturn it. You don't have a problem with that?
That's where I do not understand the thinking of the Democrats.
Oh my God.
If I keep saying this, my word, all politics is local. Joe Manchin has been blamed for all this. Do not forget, Donald Trump won West Virginia by 70%, more than 70%. That is to show you that is a really Republican state. Now, do you feel if Joe Manchin just caves in to the demand of the far left, as the
only reason Joe Manchin is doing what he's doing because his family is in bed with fossil fuel. Are you kidding me? He's trying to do away with the climate. He's trying to do away with the climate part of the infrastructure bill. We need the climate part. It's hot. It's cold. It's raining. Too much is flooding. All the land is burning up in California. Man, if you don't try to give us some kind of climate relief, I know something. We got to get some sober thinking in Washington and get these clowns out of Washington. Baby Trump and his sycophants are a cancer to this country. Are you kidding me? Black Trump supporter?
I tell you what, you know for a fact, if it isn't Joe Manchin, is going to be a Republican senator from West Virginia, and we're not even going to be having this discussion of the reconciliation bill because they don't have the numbers. If the problem of
ran a Democratic he ran a Democratic primary, we would have had somebody. I say that he got put in there. He's a Republican. He's a Republican, man. If you listen to Joe Manchin, you know he's a Republican. Stop playing. Christine Sinema, Republican. When did he become when all of a sudden we listening to Joe Manchin? Are you kidding me? Joe Biden is a clown too. Joe Biden is a clown too. The people need to rise up. The people need to rise up.
I still go back to the fact that I said all politics is local. If Joe Manchin does anything otherwise, he's going to lose that seat, and we're going to have a Republican from West Virginia, and we're not even going to be talking about this bill.
See, that's what it is to Republicans. Y'all always trying to tell the Democrats what they should be thinking or what they should be doing. It's just like Christine Sinema and Joe Manchin. They Democrats in name only, but yet it's still we came and get 50 people to do a reconciliation bill. Now, since Joe Manchin said that if we took it down to $2 trillion, remember he said I'm not doing the 3.5, but if we get down to $2 trillion, I could get 10. We don't even have to do reconciliation. I could get 10 Republicans to go on me. Why the media not holding them to that? Because now we're down about $2 trillion now. That's what he wanted. So where's the 10 Republicans? So my thing is this: if I'm in Washington and I'm representing the state of Florida, I'm saying to Joe Manchin, okay, I'm a progressive. I wanted 3.2 because we started at 6. So what I'm gonna say to Joe Manchin is this: okay, now if you don't bring the 10 Republicans, like you said, we came down to $2 trillion, and you said that you was gonna bring 10 Republicans. We didn't need a reconciliation, right? So now, if you don't get 10 Republicans, then we might as well, as a Democratic caucus together, do the reconciliation and go back to 3.2 million. Because guess what? Nobody never says anything about the fact that the Republicans vote no to anything that will remotely help this country. Here we are arguing about 2 Democrats that's who really Republicans, and why the Democrats can't get their act together when y'all know they're Republican plants. Kidding me?
In Africa, there's this saying.
I need you to answer that question, though, Black Trump supporter. Black Trump supporter, you on a diatribe right now. You're not even listening to what I'm saying. I asked you a question, and that's what happened with you Trump people. Y'all like to conflate. Listen, I just asked you a question.
I'm going there. I'm going there. I'm going to answer your question. In Africa, they say half bread is better than none. Do you rather go?
See, that's the thing. Why Democrats always got to settle? Why do Democrats always got to settle? Why the Republicans can't settle? Why the Democrats got to always be the one to go down with the money amount? Why we can't go up with the money amount? Just like we sit around and watch all these Republican states pass all these draconian, antiquated. Well, they ain't antiquated before then. The new ones that they just passed are draconian. And they sit around and let them pass all these draconian bills all over this country to disenfranchise a certain segment of people. And nothing being said and nothing being done by the Democrats. We got to stop being reactive and become proactive. Just like if I'm in, back to my initial statement, if I'm in Washington and I'm a representative of Florida, what I'm going to say to Joe Manchin is this: if you don't bring those 10, you said we came down 2.2 trillion or 2 trillion, that you would bring aboard 10 Republicans. If you don't get 10 Republicans, we going back up to the progressive side, 3.2, because we don't need the Republicans now. They just prove you wrong. So we gave you the benefit of the doubt, Joe Manchin. But don't you dare think, if you don't get 10 Republicans, we finna vote on a $2 trillion stimulus pack. I mean, a $2 trillion infrastructure bill when it should be 3.2 or even more than that. Because what you have is, you know, a president that ran the bill up to $7.9 trillion. Donald Trump spent more money than any baby Trump. I don't call him Donald Trump. I call him baby Trump. Baby Trump spent more money, $7.9 trillion, than any president in history. And we're trying to raise the debt ceiling. They don't even want to pay their own bill. And that's how the Republicans are. They're making all the money, don't pay no taxes, and don't even want to fix the roads that their trucks driving on. You got the flow. What do you say to that?
It's too much, and I don't know where to start from. But
you don't know where to start from. I'll give you where to start from.
So I'm gonna take it bit by bit. Yeah. This is a democratic problem. Yeah. We're not in the way. It is. You have the numbers. You can get it passed. Joe Manchin, Christian senators, they're all centrists, Democrats.
Citrus on what planet? Citrus on what planet? Citrus on what planet? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
They don't follow.
Go ahead. It's just funny. Some of the stuff you say is just funny. You say it so casually and so nonchalant when it's anywhere but the truth.
No.
Go ahead.
I do not believe.
I mean, it's your opinion,
I do not believe. My opinion is
we can have different opinions, but we can't have different facts. Facts is facts.
I agree with Joe Manchin on one thing he said, and I mean I'm quite open to opinions. I agree with him on one thing: the entitlement. People shouldn't be entitled. People should work hard and earn a living. People shouldn't just stay home and get all this
Hold that, Black Trump supporter. Hold it right there. So then, why you ain't got a problem with Trump paying his fair share? He paid the amount of taxes the last 2 or 3 years he was in office that a 17-year-old Burger King worker paid. And he supposed to be a billionaire. Why you ain't got a problem with that? That's what I don't understand with y'all. You just said that. Y'all contradict yourself. Y'all hypocrites. You just contradicted yourself. Because why you not mad at Trump? Why you mad? Y'all can be mad at Democrats by handouts, but you ain't got a problem with all the corporate handouts.
You know everything we've heard about Trump, about taxes, about Russia, about all these things. You can agree with me that a lot of they're still in court. He hasn't been found guilty. So when we talk about all these things, Trump didn't do this, Trump didn't do that, we're just speculating. It's not a fact. He hasn't been convicted.
You trying to say he ain't been convicted when he obstructing the whole way? A man that's innocent don't do no obstructing. An innocent man gonna come and show up and tell his side. He ain't gonna do no obstructing. So if you're doing obstructing, that tell me you're guilty.
Well, you cannot say he's guilty until he's found guilty.
Oh, because the Republicans in the Senate won't vote to convict him. He's been impeached twice, but the cowards, the coward Republican in the Senate refused to vote to convict him. So that's why. Not because he's innocent, because he's rigging the system like he always do. Just like when they trying to give subpoenas now, he trying to tie everything up in court and run out the clock. And that's what's going on now with the Republicans in Congress. They're trying to run out the clock because automatically they're going to take over the House and the Senate in the midterm. Automatically, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't understand why, because they don't never do nothing to help the country, but yet still, they always in power. That lets you know what time it is. We better wake up as people, because these people trying to take away all our rights, and making up laws as they go. Yeah, I'm listening.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I feel two things I would say. The Democrats will lose the House if they do badly come 2022. They will remain in power if they do good. So
how they gonna do good when the Republicans vote no to everything and obstructing the whole way? How they gonna do good?
It's a game. It's a game.
There you go. I'm glad you said that. It's a game with them. But it ain't no game with us. It ain't no game when you gotta pay your bills or you gonna get kicked out your house. It ain't no game when the repo man looking for your car and you gotta park every night and hide so you won't repo. That ain't no game. It's a game when people got money and they playing with your lives. That's when it's a game. This ain't no game. I keep telling you Republicans, this is not no game. People out here dying.
But both sides play the game. It takes two to play the game, and the Democrat also play the game. The only thing with the Democrat is this is just they're just using this whole thing to distract the base, their own base, because they cannot get nothing done for their base. And what is the base of the Democratic Party?
They using what to distract? Excuse me. You gotta let us know what you're talking about. They use what to distract? You said this thing. What thing? What are you talking about? What are you distracting from? I'd like to know what you're talking about. My listeners want to know what you're saying.
So the $3.5 trillion bill.
Okay,
it's just a distraction. It's a distraction to the base.
How's it a distraction to the bill? We need to fix our roads and highways.
And that's still. I'm going to get to my point. That's still the base of the Democratic Party is the blacks, and I still don't know. Maybe you're going to tell me. I still don't know what is in that bill for we blacks. One.
Okay.
I know for a fact. We talk about police brutality. I know for a fact we talk about voting rights, and these are all things that I do not think are in that bill, and they're not talking about it, and they're just distracting us from that bill. Now, I know for a fact also Joe Biden signed the anti-Asian hate bill. They passed it when he came into office. He's done a lot of things, executive orders. He tore down the Trump border policy. He changed it. A lot of things he's done. But then when it comes to the base, 90% of the black people voted for Joe Biden. And he's talking about a 3. So what? If you're talking about a 3.5, which is not even going to get passed, what are you doing for us? He keeps saying the Republicans are obstructing him to pass the bill. No, we're not. You can actually nuke the filibuster to pass the voting right bill, to pass the police reform. And he's not talking about this. I'm black. I might not agree with Democrat most of the time, but my point is, why are they distracting the base? And we're not looking at it that way. See, we're talking about the 3.5 trillion, but what isn't in it for us? I tell you what, the HBCU that we're talking about is going to get slashed from if it gets down to $2 trillion.
And why is that? Go out of why is that though? It ain't the Democrats' fault.
No, it's Joe Manchin's. Joe Manchin.
It's a Democrat name only. He's a Democrat name only. You know Joe Manchin a Republican. Republicans lost the Senate, so they put plants in it. So in order to make sure they had a backstop, they went on and had Joe Manchin and Christine Sinema who ran in Democratic elections to get elected. But somebody say they in somebody's pockets.
I do not believe so. Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question. If I came from a poor state, right? If I came from the poorest state in the country, right? I'm their representative. I'm representing Daytona right now. I'm representing Daytona, right? And I come to Washington to represent Daytona, right? And Daytona is considered, hypothetically speaking, they said Daytona, like West Virginia, is the poorest city in Florida, whatever the case may be, right? Hypothetically speaking, right? Like West Virginia is one of the poorest states in the United States, and Joe Manchin represents West Virginia, right? So I'm I'm giving you an illustration on what people, so people can understand where I'm coming from. So now, let's say Daytona poor. So I know Daytona need money. So I'm going to Washington to make sure I can get money back to my constituents. Okay, now we're doing an infrastructure bill. It's my job as a Daytona representative to try to get Daytona the most money they could get. Not go and say, not the other states say we're gonna get $3.5 trillion. And I'm coming from Daytona, that's gonna mean more money for my city. I'm saying, oh no, I ain't going for no 3. Oh no, I don't want 3.5. We can't do no more than 1 or 2. What would you think? You would say, why is he saying that? When we need money, why is he telling them don't give us no money? That's an oxymoron. That makes absolutely no sense. That man is not representing the people that voted him in West Virginia. He is representing his family who's in bed with fossil fuel. And that's why he made sure the climate bill was put out of that infrastructure package. Let's tell the people the truth. Let's tell the people the truth, man. You know what I do. Come on, man.
But you must also understand.
So how can you say that? I just gave you a perfect example. How can a man that's coming from a poor state go tell them there's too much money? How can you? That's just like you got a job and you've been making $7 an hour, and you got a job making $15 an hour. You're gonna tell them, oh, that's too much. I'm used to making I've been making $7 an hour. You paying me too much. In essence, that's what Joe Manchin's doing. So that's why people who pay attention, that's why it looks so crazy. That's why it looks so outrageous.
I feel he's still standing for the interests of his people.
How?
I think
How?
He is.
How?
If he doesn't have the backing of his people.
I just gave you an example. How? See, this is what happened with Trump supporters. Facts don't mean nothing to y'all. Evidence don't mean nothing to y'all. People out here dying from COVID. This thing don't inflict the whole country. We got everybody, 300-something million people wearing masks, and you talking about re-electing him again. He got his all right looking like clown with masks on. And you tell him elected him again, he didn't even go to jail. All those people that died, man. Baby Trump is responsible for all the people that died. He don't even have a clue. He don't even have a clue.
Baby Trump come 2024 will be President Donald Trump, and I keep saying it.
Baby Trump won't listen. Baby Trump won't be the president of the United States. Baby Trump won't be. Baby Trump gonna be in jail by 2024. You can take that to the bank. You can take that to the bank because the people gonna demand that we find out what happened on January 6th and get to the bottom of it. And people didn't even investigate his non-action because he sat up there and watched all the policemen getting killed and getting battered and beat down like that. It was a shame that the president of the United States sat there and watched the people get killed like that, man. He should have been arrested that day. Because let me tell you something. If me and you started fighting at the Walmart, there'd be more police coming than they showed up for that January 6th event. They got no problem showing up at Walmart. Police gonna come out of nowhere. You mean to tell me we're sitting on live TV watching our police get battered and killed? And he's not sitting nobody to help him? After he sit them people down there on him and sick them people on him? Come on, man. What's going on with this country?
I'm actually surprised. That is actually an issue for Democrats. Talking about police brutality, I mean,
are you kidding me?
When you look at the party that has been promoting hate against police,
see, there you go. Tit for tat. Can you address what I just asked you? You haven't answered one question, Black Trump supporter. All you do is I say something, you go on to what you going to say.
What happened on January 6th is unacceptable. It's regrettable.
Oh my God.
But I'm just saying.
I can hear it in your voice. You're really upset. I can hear it in your voice. You're really upset. I can hear the conviction.
Yes, I am upset. It's not supposed to happen. He's supposed to accept defeat graciously, go back and come back again. That's what a real man does, right? When you get beat, you fall 9 times, you rise up 10 times. I do not think you have to
Can I ask
get
you a
in there
question?
by
Can I
force.
ask you a question?
Okay.
I just want to ask you a question. In the course of your life, you from Nigeria and everything, right? In the course of your life, you from Nigeria, right? And so we know we know you know about being in the trenches, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what a real leader is? Because my opinion of a leader, you know what my opinion of a leader is? Before you get on your long diatribe, I forget what I'm finna say. You know what a real leader is? A real leader is somebody who will do what he asking you to do. Won't hesitate to do what he asking you to do. You know in your heart when he asks you to do something, you know in your heart he'll do that same thing for you. And you know he'll do it. A leader ain't nobody who tell you to do something he's scared to do it. That's not a leader. A leader is somebody lead by example. A leader is somebody who you know will go out and do this very thing that he asking you to do. Now can you tell me that? Can you tell me that about Donald Trump? Can you say that? Can you say that? You say that? Can you say he fits that bill?
He's a real leader.
Barely walked down the ramp, man. The man could barely walk down the ramp at West Point. Did you see how he walked down that ramp at West Point? If you watched how he walked down that ramp at West Point, that's enough to say you don't want to be your leader right there.
Did you see how Joe Biden? Did you see how Joe Biden was folding up the Air Force One?
Even I didn't know he was that firm.
No, I'm just saying. Did you see how Joe Biden was running? And
see, there you go. Tit for tat. Joe Biden don't present himself as a tough guy, though. See, that's the difference.
You honestly think Joe Biden is tough?
No, I said Joe Biden don't consider himself. No, I said Joe Biden don't consider. He's a statesman. He don't consider himself a tough guy. Trump think he John Gotti somebody. You know, he want to be a bully, but I guarantee you, when he pushed, I guess with the president of France, or one of the presidents that he kind of pushed out the way, I turned around and knocked the you know what out of him, and he wouldn't have did nothing. Stop being. He is a big Pillsbury Doughboy. That's what I call him, Baby Trump. Cause y'all got a baby lead. We had a baby lead in this country, man. The man, Steve Bannon and Steve Miller and all them was all in his ear, telling them all these racist things to do, you know, and he was loving it. All that wasn't him. He ain't got sis enough to do none of that. All of us about money. Then you see him tomorrow. We lost that one, but we're gonna rebound. Everything but a game to him. Man, go play. It's like he's a rich dude and he using real people to play Monopoly. Man, get out the way and let people live. We're trying to live in this country. Anybody trying to be divided, the great divider. That's why I should have get a T-shirt with a picture on it and put the great divider on the front. Baby Trump, great divider.
Well, still back to a point. The other thing is all distractions from the failure Joe Biden.
Everything is distraction on a lot.
I do not. Is all part of the strategy to distract people away from the failure Joe Biden. He's still yet to achieve anything, and I feel bad.
He can't achieve that because y'all won't vote on nothing. Y'all trying to run the clock out. Y'all obstructing. That's why we can't. Y'all killed me with that. He been in office. He ain't got nothing to do. We can't get nothing done. Y'all vote no to everything, and that's why I hold the media accountable. I hold the media accountable because nobody talks about the fact that the Republicans vote no to everything. Why we gotta have all 50 Democrats all the time? You mean to tell me no Republican feel we should fix our roads and highways and bridges? Not one?
But I think it was the same thing. That's when Donald Trump was in office, it was the same thing too.
People not voting.
It was the same thing.
Donald Trump don't expose y'all. He said, "Ain't who count the votes." I mean, he said, "It ain't how many votes you get. It's who count the votes." Donald Trump tell you his whole game plan. I'm the Trump whisperer and the Republican whisperer. Are you kidding me? I can tell you what they're doing, what they don't do, what they don't did, and what they thinking about.
That's a leader. I mean, during Donald Trump, you dare not go against the party. That's one thing. And
you can't go against the party.
Republicans, we always fall in line when it matters. We do not do these things. Yeah, that's one thing I like the Republicans
you like
when
that.
they dedicated to
Can't
a
be
cause.
anything this dude do that y'all don't like. You know, y'all seem like a cult more than a Republican Party. Really.
No, it's not a cult. It's just to get
I can't
things
tell
done. To get things done, you just have to get in line.
nothing he does, he's being held accountable for that. So it's almost like he's royalty. He ain't no royalty in my book. He ain't above the law in my book. And Joe Biden need to be kicking Merrick Garland in the behind and tell him to get going on being serious about prosecuting these people, man. That's involved in all these malfeasance that's been occurring these last 4 or 5 years.
I mean, Joe, he already told Merrick Garland that the Justice Department is independent on all of that. The investigation to start and get them convicted. But I heard him say, the presidency cannot interfere with the Justice Department, which is how
it's supposed to be. But you know that wasn't true under the Trump administration. But that's how it's supposed to be. But it wasn't true under the Trump administration. He used the DOJ as a weapon.
The Democrats don't play dirty. That's the thing. They don't play dirty.
It ain't got to do playing dirty. It's called playing by the rules. It ain't called playing dirty. It's called playing by the rules. Why you got to be playing dirty to play by the rules?
By the rules, you never get anything done. Wow. That's what it is. And you know. So if you play by the rules, you're not going to get nothing done. Wow. So sometimes you need to
you can get something done by playing by the rules. You just got to get people willing to play by the rules. You got to let people willing to play by the rules, and you got to do away with the mechanisms that put those type of people in office that don't play by the rules. And the mechanism is get rid of dog money, revisit Citizens United. Because this is what's happening. These politicians are being bought off as puppets. That's why you can see all vote no. All the Republicans vote no to fix our bridges. Where has that been? When have that ever been a bipartisan? Whenever that's been a partisan issue. That's always been bipartisan. All of a sudden now, fixing roads is a partisan issue. How? When the Republicans using the highways and making the money off all the highways and bridges of this country? How?
But we did a bipartisan bill, and the far left wouldn't accept that bill. But there is a bipartisan bill for all this infrastructure. That's the thing. That's the thing they're not talking about.
You got a bipartisan bill for $1. That don't mean, and then you go out and say, "We had a bipartisan deal. You ain't accept it because it wasn't big enough." Kidding me?
It's all good. I still say it accepted because else you end up with nothing. That's just the thing. You just have from now till November 2022.
See,
so you either accept it or you come up with something.
Y'all just be dirty and chomping at the bits to get in power. Then you get in power and don't do nothing. All they do is reward themselves and their friends at our expense. Like Pompey sitting using taxpayer money for his aide to go walk his wife's dog. Or to go pick up his laundry. That's what they do with our tax dollars. And then you got people like Trump supporter wants somebody. I don't like handouts. I don't like entitlement. It's the people money. So if you don't like handouts, entitlement, listen. If you feel that way, then you should feel a certain way about a representative of the government who making money taking money from us.
I like to use you as an example. You're someone I look up to. I like to use you as an example. Look what you do. Look what you've done. Look from where you came to where you are. It's not if you are entitled, you're not going to get to where you are. So I think it's high time we start.
Say that again. You missed me with that. That went over my head. Say that again. Could you repeat that?
I'm saying I look up to you.
Okay, I heard that part.
You don't feel entitled from look at where you are, from where you coming. All these things, what.
Listen.
It's not easy.
That's not entitlement. That's not entitlement when you pay your taxes and when you need something. You expect the government to have your back. That's why you pay your taxes.
Saying, when people,
you expect your roads to be.
You
pay your taxes for the roads to be drivable, so you won't wreck your car or mess up your axle where you got to go spend more money.
No, that's not what it is. I do not believe. I believe in infrastructure. I believe in all the good things. However, what I do not believe in is people getting checked for doing nothing. You have to work hard to earn a living.
See, listen.
And then
see, why you ain't saying you don't believe in corporations like and billionaires like Bezos paying 3.4% in taxes when he's worth $200 billion. See, but you worry about the little guy, some little small guy who ain't got nothing, who might be getting a couple of $100. You want to inspect him, but you don't want to inspect why is Bezos paying 3.4% in taxes when he worth $200 billion. You ain't got no problem. See, that's what makes me mad with you Republicans. Y'all ain't got no problem with the corporate giveaways. I just got a problem with the social giveaways. Hey, hold on. Hey, Black Trump supporter, hold that thought. We got to pay bills. Hold that thought. We'll be right back, and we'll finish this conversation.
All right.
Be right back. Okay, we back. Hey, hold on 1 second, Trump supporter. Is that Miami Rick on the line?
Yes, it is. How you doing today, Mr. Styler?
Miami Rick, I want that South Florida report, but you called in kind of late. But give us what's going on down there in South Florida, man, with this COVID and anything else that we might want to know up here in Central Florida and St. Louis and the Bahamas and Detroit, because all my callers from St. Louis, Detroit, and Bahamas. What's going on? What's going on in South Florida? We got the Black Trump supporter. He on the line too. So what's going on? Talk to us. We run the show.
No, man. You don't.
Make it show.
You have to. I'm sorry to call in kind of late. The round table. I got caught up doing some business down here, but we already know. For those that support Donald Trump, they call Trump. I'm in that area quite often. I just don't understand why they got a little bridge over there. Where I guess it's just concluded where nobody can hardly come over to where he at. But I know once I do a lot of work over there all the time, his neighbors say he's a big clown. Don't nobody like him over there right there. His neighbors.
Black Trump supporter want to hear that. Black Trump supporter, say hello to Miami Rick.
Hello. I feel it's good to have different opinion, to share, different views, and actually, I believe we're doing this, for the best. I believe in my opinions, my views are actually for good. However, you might have a different opinion, and you actually you believe in it, and you believe it's for good. We just have to come to an agreement and just move forward.
Exactly.
Supporting Trump. Okay.
Okay. Well, listen.
It sounds like you hesitant. It sounds like you hesitant when you're trying to say about. It sounds like you're trying to read off a script when you want to say something about you supporting Trump. If you support Trump like that, you're supposed to know what you want to say. I'm from Dade County, man. He never been a multi-millionaire that got more money than him. If you support somebody, you know what you're supporting. Don't hesitate to talk about him.
I support Trump because of the policy. The economy was good under Trump. We all know, and things he did a lot of things that are bad. Well, I know for what I believe, the economy he did really well. Gas is selling for over $3 in Florida. The groceries.
Can I pause? Let's get one understanding. Let's get one understanding right here before the show over with. Donald Trump didn't do anything. Okay. MLK, Martin Luther King started all this a long time ago for us to be able to have the right to vote, for you to have the right to vote, and for him to have these people do what they've been doing all the while. You understand what I'm saying? Our black African people and all our minorities is hold us by the throat and put their feet on our neck. So don't sit here and tell me what he did for the economy. He done what he did. He was just in there. It was already written, but he messed it up. You understand me? Don't say you applaud him for something that was already founded by African Americans.
Okay, hold that thought. The number here today is 386-868-0635. It's time to get serious about running this country so that we can become a family again. I compare America to that class in school where your regular teacher was out of school for like 2 weeks, and you had a substitute, and everybody just was doing what they want to do. When the class starts, you go to the library, or you go hang out in the hall. Yeah. Teachers let you do what you want to do. That's what I equate what's went on in America. And now that Joe Biden's in office, we need to get back to the regular teacher back in the classroom. In other words, what I'm saying, when a congressional subpoena come your way, you need to show up or go to jail. So. That's how I feel. Baby Trump has no no executive privileges anymore because his administration is not in power. We got to settle that in the bill. Black Trump supporter.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say to that is, I will want him to go, to go face what if he has committed any offense, he should actually, be face the law.
Are you serious?
What I do not agree with is dragging this thing. We're dragging this thing for long.
And they the one dragging it because they the one obstructing. If you come, they dragging it because they won't respect the subpoena. The people, they the one dragging it. We call them in to testify. They won't show. So who dragging it? They dragging it on purpose.
I'm sure. No, but I'm sure if they want to fasten everything to process, they can. You believe they can? I believe they can.
I believe they can too when they start locking people up for not respecting no subpoenas. Because if me and you or Miami Rick don't support a subpoena, don't respond to a subpoena, we're going to jail. So why should it be any different from Steve Bannon and his crew? Are you kidding me?
That is it. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. I do believe if they have anything, if they've broken the law, they should face the law. That's what I believe in too. But my point is, dragging this thing isn't helpful. It's not helpful.
So you need to get on the phone and tell your Republicans in Washington that they need to stop blocking these subpoenas, and then we can get on with the task at hand.
It's not. What I'm saying is, it's not. If you were someone else, trust me, by now the case is over with. So what is going on? If they're guilty, they should face the law. If they're not,
but if they won't come in, okay, Nabil, Black Trump supporter. If they won't come in and testify, how you gonna say the Democrats dragging it? It's the Republicans dragging because they the one refusing to come in and testify. See, that's what's wrong with you Republicans. Y'all act like y'all don't see the elephant in the room. Y'all always act like y'all don't see the elephant in the room. Big old elephant in the room. Y'all always talk about everything else but what we talking about. I just told you. We can't. You just agree with me. You said the Democrats holding up instead of the Republicans. You got the right adjective, but you got the wrong noun. It's them, not us.
So we're talking about having a DOJ. If they don't go and testify, the DOJ can actually enforce it. That's where the DOJ comes in.
Right.
So what is the DOJ doing? That's my question.
Can I ask you a question about Merrick Garland? Do you know about Merrick Garland?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know about Merrick Garland?
Yes.
Okay, do you know who he was working for before he got that position?
I know Obama nominated him for Supreme Court somewhere. I do not.
No, I ain't talking about that.
I know.
Okay, listen. Merrick Garland ain't finna do nothing. Merrick Garland ain't no different than Joe Biden. They not finna rock the boat. They're not finna upset that good old boy network. That's why they allowed him to do the coup on Bernie.
I understand your frustration, but do you understand my frustration? My frustration is...
I understand your frustration, but it's directed to the wrong people.
But if you say they've broken the law, don't you have a system to compel them to go and face what they did?
Exactly.
That's my question.
Exactly.
And if they don't do it, then they should stop talking about it.
No, exactly. I agree with you on that. I agree with you. I think it's time for Biden to start locking people up. People need to stop being held accountable. But listen, I enjoyed both of you guys. I got about 10 more minutes on the show. Miami Rick, anything else you want to add before we go?
Yes, sir. I would like to add this right here. Trump supporter. I don't want to make it seem like I'm picking on you, but listen, I'm listening to what you're saying.
You're entitled to his opinion,
people should be accounted for. But listen here. If you feel that way, tell me, after they found out Trump had lost, why did all the Trump supporters go to the White House, to the place up in the Supreme Court up in Washington and start vandalizing stuff? Was that one of you? And nothing happened? Or you say that was okay?
I wouldn't do that.
That's funny. That's funny here. Huh?
Can I respond to that?
Let him answer, Miami Rick.
You open up the line, then. Go ahead.
Let him answer.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I respond to
because
that?
I'm running out of time. Because I got some things that are going to come.
More than 74 million people voted for Donald Trump. If 74 million people have gone in to Washington on January 6th, we're going to be having this discussion. That's one. I didn't do it. I do not believe in it. I believe as a man, when you fail or when you lose, accept it, go back, work on yourself, and come back in the game. I support 100%. I do not believe in everything he has done, and I'm not making a case for him on this. But what I'm saying is, if you accuse Trump have you noticed they accuse Trump on many things, many occasions?
Hold that thought. Carl, you on the air?
If you say,
hold on.
Yes.
Somebody in? Somebody call in? Hello?
Yes, I called in.
Yeah, what you got to say, Trump supporter? Because we running short on time. Go ahead.
I have nothing to say to Trump supporters. I have nothing to deal with them. All we know is that they violated one of the most sacred monument on the United States.
That's right.
And everyone got excuses for why it was done.
That's right.
Nobody got excuses for why it shouldn't have been done. They got excuses for one lunatic on why it was done.
Black Trump
That's
supporter?
all I got to say. There's no explanation to support something like that.
You got a Black Trump supporter? Let him answer that. What you got to say to that Black Trump supporter?
I should go back to the point. 74 million of us voted for Donald Trump.
And 81 plus voted for Biden. So what's your point?
Yeah. So when people say Trump supporters went to the Capitol, I disagree. Of course, there are some not going. Just like Democrats.
So Biden. So you trying to say that Biden supported went and did that because they won?
See, I do not believe when we were having the riot, when people were looting, when all these things was going on, when Antifa was taking over the
street. Antifa, there we go. There we go. We had a caller came in and asked you a question. Now you own Antifa. He asked you a question. Go ahead, ask him a question again, caller. You can't hear it.
You going all the way around. You going all the way around the question.
Hold up, Miami Rick. Hold on, Miami Rick. Go ahead, Teddy.
I don't have a question. I have a statement. I don't mean to insult the supporters. I don't mean to insult anyone. But I do know if you run behind a lunatic and you support a lunatic, then where do you think that leaves us? And I'm talking about minorities of all races. Any man that supports some of the hatred and the racism that he did openly and publicly in the highest seat in the United States, and then people have the nerve and the audacity to applaud him, pat him on his back. Hold up to right now. It's against the law to display profane words and imagery. Right now, you can ride down Don Lawton in Daytona and see white people sitting up there with signs saying, "Fuck Biden."
So you got to watch your language. And church station, watch your language. Watch your language. Church station, watch your language.
Sorry about that. I apologize for that. But if there had been anyone else, everyone would be in jail for displaying public profanity in the public. I don't see law enforcement. I don't see anyone. I don't see City Hall. I don't see City Hall will come tell you can't put up a yard sale sign. But they'll let him sit on the corner or the intersection of Dunn and Ridgewood with signs that says F Biden.
Exactly. And that's what I was
going. And that's lunatic breed contagiousness.
Exactly. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening with this country. Seeing like that lunatic is contagious. Go ahead, Miami Rick. We about to go off. What you had to say, Miami Rick?
Well, I was about to say one thing. I had to get ready to go. It's like he's been just not paying attention. But I might have to take him out to see him next week.
Okay. No,
because I mean, he's not saying the elephant in the room. He's not answering the question directly. He's going around the question. The question was people that went and looted and vandalized and went inside. You understand me? The Supreme Court. That's the biggest violation ever that I've ever seen in the world. And because it was it was Trump because he lost something. It seems like you supporting somebody and you saying it was okay, but now it might have been some of us that helped them do it, which don't make no sense. You understand?
That's what I was saying to him. That's what I was saying. I said, why would the people why we won, why we gonna go tell them something we won? So you know there wasn't no Biden supporters, but we're gonna give Black Trump the last word before I go. What you got to say to that?
Well, I would like to say thank you for giving us this platform.
Okay.
The last thing I'm gonna say is you cannot pick violence. So you cannot say people went to Washington and destroyed all the building and everything, and then make case for Antifa, the far left Democrat, and say, oh, it's okay to do that. Okay. I'm not making a case for anybody. I'm not saying what they did is right, but I'm saying violence is violence. Let's condemn violence. And that's what I'm going to say. And thank you very much. God bless you.
Hey, man, I enjoyed everybody today. This is the 80th show. If you missed the show, you can go to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, type in Outside the Round Table 80. And boom, you guys, it's this show. Y'all hear the music? Y'all know what time it is. It's time to put that sandwich down and get back to class, or time to put that salad away and get back to whatever you was doing before you was outside this round table with me this last hour. So until Tuesday, next Tuesday at noon, like always, I love everybody, but I just love everybody with tough love. So until next Tuesday at noon, this is HL Solid, and I'm outside the round table, and I'm also out.